this is going to happen. Well, if they do thousands of tests, they've already done hundreds, chances are some weird stuff's going to happen. And you notice CERN keeps blowing up. CERN keeps malfunctioning. It doesn't sound like a good idea to me. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? And they're always disproving physics of yesterday.
Right. Science is always changing.
Well, I mean, what else do you think? What were they saying could happen if they split the veil?
Basically, it would open the portals of hell. And this gentleman said that he said that he was exposed to, I think it works with the sound somehow, but basically that it would amp it up so high that anybody, wherever they wanted to localize it, would be affected, and you would be overcome by so much negativity and anxiety and just gripping panic. And this gentleman said that the only thing that saved him was knowing that God loved him, and he said that he had to really focus. And he sounded like he was pretty tight with God. So,
well, I hear you. I mean, anytime you're scared, you just got to focus on God, know God's in control, and then a great peace comes over you. That's my greatest frustration is when I'm not on air, I have this great peace and I'm a pretty calm guy. I get on air and it's like battle, cover the news, expose them. But it takes all different kinds to turn this around. But the CERN thing, from a scientific perspective, we should do a whole report on the dangers of CERN and other giant cyclotrons. That's what it is, because they admit it could destroy the Earth. And remember, in the 50s and 60s, they did high-altitude detonations of hydrogen bombs that the Pentagon thought might actually ignite the atmosphere and kill the Earth, kill the habitable areas, and they still went ahead with it. Now, it didn't do that. They tried to blow up the Van Allen radiation belt. They tried to, I mean, this is all in Discovery Channel and History Channel shows. I mean, it's not secret. It's like, why would you do something that could kill everybody? Well, because we could. It's like sticking your finger in a light socket. I mean, why'd you? It's like, I poured gasoline on myself and lit it. Why'd you? Because I could. God bless you, Sarah. We appreciate your support. Bob in Illinois, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, this is Bob calling from the heart of Obama land in Chicago.
Did you leave the light on? Because you sound just like that guy.
I sure did. I'm just calling about Rand Paul. I think taking back the country will first we have to elect Rand Paul, but to do that, we're going to need to get on the offensive, and he's going to need to start slinging some mud at Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton, and possibly bringing up Hillary Clinton's horrible past, like the fact that she was the first lady to ever go under criminal investigation, just all the scandals she's been involved in.
But she likes women, and so she's trendy.
Oh, yeah, I've heard.
She likes women, just admit it. I mean, she's got a bunch of girlfriends. What's wrong with that? But see, it's bad if Clinton has girlfriends. Why is it good if she does? Because, see, that's a trendy thing, so it's okay.
That's okay, but, you know, she's married to
a rapist.
To Bill Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
A rapist, yeah. And
but that's why the feminists love her.
Cover that up throughout his whole campaigns. And
well, I mean, modern feminists are rapists. They want to rape women of their freedom, rape women of their femininity, rape them into being their minions. That's why so many top feminists love Hillary Clinton and others. God bless you, brother. Good points. Let's try to cram in one more or two more. Ben in Oklahoma, you're on the air, and then we got Rich in New York.
Hey, Alex. How's it going?
It's going all right.
I've been listening to you for a long time, and I was calling in today because you said earlier in the show maybe it's bigger than we thought. Excuse me. And it is, Alex. It's huge. These things they're all connected. Jade Helm, Atlantis, Jamie Dimon flipping his lid, Bitcoin, the island, your friend John Ronson, Fukushima, all these mass shooting psyops.
All right, I'm going to skip the network break and go to the bottom of the hour. I got to finish it with you and Rich. I got to hear this. How is it all connected? Give me the big enchilada.
Alex.
Alex, the Earth is a giant block of cheese.
Hey, man, we got to. It's huge, man. We got to just talk about it. Did you ever watch the television show Lost?
What about the television show Lost?
I mean, did you ever watch it?
No.
Are you familiar with it?
No, I hardly watch any TV, and I should watch some because that's where the real brainwashing is.
Man, I got to tell you, I mean, you should watch that. You would like it. It's right up your alley.
I think Mike Rivero worked on Lost. But, I mean, what about it? What was the show about?
It was about an island. It was about a floating island that with an energy source and, you know, the ancient history of Atlantis and, you know, all this stuff. I mean, it's basically the mind control. And it's huge, Alex. And it's all...
Well, there's definitely... the elites definitely knew the Earth was round thousands of years ago. They knew about the Americas. We know the Aztecs were trading with the Chinese and others. We know the real history's been suppressed. I mean, definitely there's a lot of stuff we don't know about, and the elites have advanced technology. They're aware of how to manipulate populations, and they don't act and operate like normal people do. Now, you can say they're inbred psychopaths, so that's why they do it, or they're really, you know, interdimensional entities influencing humans to do it. That's what the Bible says. You know, if you say it's demons, it's like, oh, that's mainline. Yes, it's demons. But if you say, well, that's interdimensional aliens, you know, the clockwork elves, oh, my gosh, you're a crazy kook. All I know is I study actual rich people, actual old money billionaires, the DuPonts, the people at Bohemian Grove, the British royalty, the Rothschilds. These people are basket cases of occultism, and that's all they work with, all they think about, all they do. And they've got all the power. And no one messes with them. And so that's what you're trying to get at. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on off the radar screen. I can't get people to believe that they've got emergency centers under that act, which are public. I can't get folks to know there's death panels when it's in the bill, and the death panels are now operating. And it's on the cover of Newsweek, the case to kill Granny. So I hear you. I appreciate your call. I mean, anything else you want to add, Ben?
That's it, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Keep it up.
Write an article about how deep the rabbit hole goes for us. I mean, I don't know. I'll tell you how deep the rabbit hole goes. If I walk out on my porch at night, on a clear night with binoculars, I can see the Horsehead Nebula. And I'll tell you how deep the rabbit hole goes. If I'm out in New Mexico skiing 8 years ago, it was whenever the tsunami happened. We went on a week-and-a-half long vacation to Ruidoso to go skiing and sledding. And I walked out on the porch, and it was a crystal clear night with like 2 feet of snow on the ground. It was freezing, and I looked up in the sky, and my dad had taught me how in Monument Valley when I was a kid to see satellites. And then he was also reading the paper, and he said at this time the space shuttle is going to be going by tonight. So we watched the space shuttle go by, and 15 minutes later it came back by around the world, and, you know, you could see it and everything. But I remember being out there, and I remember hearing about this from folks so many times. I'd never seen it, never told this story. And it was a UFO, but I mean, that just means unidentified flying object. It didn't mean little green men. And I sat out there for about 30 minutes, and you could see not satellites going by. They were doing that too, with the sun hitting them because they're up above the Earth's mass blocking the light. But I watched craft up at the height of the satellites going thousands of miles an hour make 90-degree turns. Would a 90 be a straight turn? What's just an instant turn? That'd be a 90? A 180 would be going the opposite direction. I guess it'd be a 90-degree.
Acute or right angle. Right
angle turns. And I guess 8 years ago, iPhones weren't out then. I didn't have a camera. It's freezing. It's like 11 o'clock at night. The kids are asleep. And I knew I couldn't in the pitch black, you know, normal camera we had wouldn't zoom up to that. I just sat there, what were they? I don't know. Probably secret craft. But if our government's got things that at 5,000 miles an hour or however fast they were going can make right-angle turns, I mean, we're not in Kansas anymore, boys and girls. And then my dad was out visiting friends in Wyoming a few years ago, and they said, come out here and watch this. They're usually out here. And they went out there for a few hours drinking beer, looking up in the dark, and sure enough, my dad saw the same stuff. I mean, there is a lot of weird stuff going on, folks. Rich in New York, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Alex? 15 years with you, bro.
Well, thanks for putting up with me. You're a real sweetheart.
Listen, how about putting some nails in Jeb Bush's coffin? There's a whistleblower who goes by the name of Al Martin. He wrote a book on the Iran-Contra conspiracy, but it was mostly had to do with Jeb Bush more than anyone. And what he says, he has a website, so you can see it up on there. And
yeah, he has a website, Al Martin Raw, and he's probably been on the show about, let's not exaggerate, you said 15 years. He's probably been on about 15 times, but he hasn't been on in about 15 years. And I tried to get him on 5 or 6 times 15 years ago. Yeah, it was before 9/11. He hasn't been on since before. No, he was on right after. It's been about 14 years. I want Al Martin on. He really does have the dirt on Jeb Bush, and you're absolutely right. I want to get him on.
Yeah, that would be great. The other thing is I wonder if you are familiar with something called the Credit River decision. It's Jerome Daly versus Montague Bank, Minnesota, 1969. To me, it's the most important court case that was
No, I was not familiar with it. Tell me about it.
Credit River decision, well, to make a long story short, it has something to do with the fact that they were foreclosing on his cabin up in Minnesota. And to make a long story short, what it was that he claimed that due to contract law, in contract law, you have to offer something of offer something of legal consideration, and you have to have you have to assume.
That's right. A contract won't stand up if there's not some type of payment or collateral put into it.
Yes. So his argument was that the bank just moved numbers on a ledger, and what they offered him with FRAUDS, frauds, for the reserve notes. And in that case, they found him. They found in favor of him. The judge asked the head of the bank when he put him on the stand. He said, "Listen, you just open your bank, okay? I want to take a $10 million loan." And he asked the president, if he could make that loan, and he said yes. And he said, "Well, how can you do that?" He goes, "Well, we can grab money out of thin air. We can make money out of thin air." And
that's fractional reserve banking, and now they've gone light years past that with the whole derivatives thing. Absolutely.
So it's a great case for the fact that every single mortgage in this country is illegal. Every single credit card.
Well, that's admitted too because of Mears and how they filed it. Oh, exactly. I appreciate your call. Great points. When you start looking into, they never ratified the amendment to give the IRS, the Federal Reserve's private, and then you go research it, and it's true. I mean, it's just, people are so bamboozled. The problem is, most of the society and culture is built on the fraud now, so you try to cut it out, you kill yourself. The problem is the cancer's still killing us, so we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. We're between a rock and a hard place. You know, Deborah, I want to go to you, and I want to go to David, but we're just out of time. I went overdrive 28 minutes. Call me back tomorrow. Tell them you were on hold. I'll put you to the head of the line. Sunday. That's right. Thank you for it all runs together. I'm going to be shooting some reports tomorrow, so I'm working tomorrow part of the day. I'll be here live Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Briefly, we have the new product, Childees. It's from one of the leading organic manufacturers in the country, private labeled. We just souped it up with a few extra ingredients, and it costs the same amount as the folks that manufacture it. It's higher retail. So we sell it for what it's actually sold for, not the regular retail. So it's a very good deal. And I decided years ago we needed a nutraceutical formula that was designed for myself and for my children to be safe. Children are hit with mind control, television, music, fast food, GMOs, sugars, you name it. They have not even developed their nervous system and are being bombarded daily. They can't focus, they can't calm down, and basically are put on psych drugs. I've set out to find the best formula for children, which I'd actually like to take for myself and my family, which they do take now, with great results. We've worked with a leading manufacturer in nutraceutical nutritional supplements that are safe for children to bring you the most affordable and powerful calming formula out there. Introducing Childees with herbs and calming extracts based on safe formulas traditionally used by cultures around the world throughout history. So I'm not going to get into the rest of it because we're out of time. There's no sugar, no GMO. InfoWars, Life.com, or 888-253-3139. And it's an introductory product. We'll sell out in about a week, and then we'll have plenty of it in a month or so. But if you want to try it out and support us, I appreciate you all. I'm humbled by your support. We try to support you by really giving you high-quality products to support us. InfoWarsLife.com. We'll see you back Sunday, Lord willing.
We're on the